What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the new 115 camo in Modern Warfare 3, additional rewards, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and as a reminder, you can use code DYNAMITE to save 10% off any order at Control Freak, including for the new Deadshot Daiquiri Collector's Can. You get some amazing thumbsticks in the can itself, and even a free in-game charm, which is also the Deadshot perk. But congratulations to Optic Texas for winning the 2024 COD Championships. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it to the event this year, but I certainly will try my best to make it to COD Champs for Black Ops 6 next year. It was an absolute blast going to the Modern Warfare 2 version last year in 2023, but I've heard the best things about the recent COD Champs. But with that, there's also plenty of brand new article coverage going up on detonated.com for those who want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. Also got plenty of ranked and competitive coverage over on the site, and you'll see a bit sprinkled over on Detonated's Twitter. But you guys are probably aware that at the event itself, and kind of similar to last year, physical slips were given out featuring all of the drops and rewards you can get, such as the camo, the blueprint, the other cosmetics. But on some other slips this year at COD Champs, some Black Ops 6 beta codes were found on them. So if you go over to callofduty.com/redeem, you can already go ahead and enter for the Black Ops 6 beta so that you get early access to it at the very end of August. Now, if you guys didn't actually attend COD Champs, then about 50,000 codes were also given away during the live stream, kind of similar to drops. If you had linked your YouTube and Activision accounts and you guys waited for some of the drops in chat, you had a pretty good chance of getting a beta code. I think every 60, 90, and 120 minutes, a big batch of codes were being given away. But don't worry, if you guys didn't get your hands on a free beta code but still need one, I went over all the other methods to get one for free in my recent video linked below. Now, we'll circle back to the competitive scene in just a second, but a rumor just ended up dropping about, I want to say 20 minutes into making this video, and there is an Xbox leaker, and I believe it's a Spanish creator, right? I'll leave the link to this person down below in this video's description. They are claiming that MW3 will join Xbox Game Pass on July 24th. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Nothing has been confirmed by Microsoft or Activision, but considering tomorrow's Monday, they'll probably kick off the week with an announcement that big. But guess what? July 24th is the start of Season 5. I've covered everything to do with the 5th season in a bunch of recent videos. That would make sense, right? They haven't announced a free trial, and they usually do right around the start of a new season, but considering they haven't yet, maybe that's because they are expecting the game to join Game Pass as of this week. Maybe they'll do a trial towards like the middle of the season or at a different date. That's crazy news though, right? It'll be the second Call of Duty, I guess the first if you count Black Ops 6 because BO6 hasn't really come out yet, but this will be like the first modern COD to be on Xbox Game Pass. BO6 will join Game Pass on October 25th. It is currently unclear when other CODs will join the mix. But as a big reminder as well, there's going to be about 100 plus different rewards for ranked play in MW3 multiplayer and Warzone this season as per usual. So depending on where you are right now in the ranked play experience, it's obviously dependent on what rank you currently are and what rank you're going to be when the new season begins. But when it comes to the multiplayer front, there'll be a blueprint, a loading screen, and a bunch of other cosmetics that you could see here in this promo image from the blog post. And obviously, depending on what division you end up in by the end of the season, that will determine which camo you end up getting rewarded with, and even that emblem that you can see there. So it's the way that ranks always worked about every single season, but gives you a bit of a grind. As I talk about at the beginning of each new content drop, there's quite a bit of cosmetics to grind here, especially if you guys out there are new to rank, then you'll have a lot to burn through when it comes to the MP front. But over in Warzone, it works very similarly. You'll be seeing a blueprint, a loading screen, and other cosmetics there depending on what division you actually place in. And when it comes to the rules of Warzone ranked, it's a little bit different for multiplayer since it's not necessarily based on just wins, but your top placements, your kills. There's a couple of different factors when it comes to MP versus Warzone, but similarly to multiplayer, when the season does end, you'll be rewarded with an emblem and other rewards based on what division you ended up in, and you should get rewarded with all that content at the beginning of the very next season. But funny enough, CTX Solutions over on Twitter, a brand new leaker account that came out of nowhere that apparently has connections to hackers or is selling cheats. Not sure what's going on with these people, but over on Twitter, a bunch of watermarked videos did get released that have not been taken down yet. So it should be fair game to go ahead and cover this in a video or over in an article, whatever tweets we want. So according to CTX Solutions, these are all the ranked camos we're going to be seeing in Season 5. So a bunch of inspect animations and firing range gameplays were posted for gold, diamond, platinum, crimson, iridescent, ranked, top 250. So we got a nice glimpse of all of the competitive camos you can go ahead and earn here inside of our 5th season. For those interested in ranked, then you'll probably be intrigued by some of these camo previews. And even if you're somebody that doesn't like to play ranked in MP or Warzone, you might be intrigued to go ahead and grind some of those modes if you like the look of some of these camos here. Just a few days ago was interesting because CTX Solutions also posted early gameplay of weapons like the STG, the new SMG. They gave us a glimpse of some of the new operator skins, and they've continued to provide earlier and earlier previews of some of the upcoming cosmetics and rewards within Season 5. We'll kind of get back to this in just a minute, but apart from the competitive camos here for our 5th season, I want to talk about the Reflect 115 camo that also got leaked. Now, the camo itself doesn't look great. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It could be a lot better, especially calling it 115. That term holds a lot of weight in the Call of Duty community, especially the zombies community. Now, the weird thing about this is that it kind of looks unfinished. I don't believe it's really animated. If it is, it's pretty plain. Now, it kind of resembles a blueprint more than it does a universal camo. Now, what I'm hoping happens is that if the camo releases in this state, it can get an update later on that makes it much more animated, much more vibrant, maybe even reactive. I mean, to call a camo 115 and to not have it be one of the craziest looking camos in MW3, that to me is criminal. I mean, you could have even introduced weaponized 115 like the green camo from BO2 or the blue Origins camo we saw also as a personalization pack in BO2. You could have it be reactive where maybe it turns green, then blue as you get kills. They could have done something a little bit crazy, but the question is, where can you unlock this camo, right? Are any of the events listed in the Season 5 blog post any of the actual opportunities where this camo could be earned? I mean, looking at some of these events, right? There's WWE SummerSlam, there's the Conquest event, Echo Endo, Wildlife, Emotional Overdrive. Doesn't really look like this camo fits with any of those events. So it is possible this camo could be earned by doing something special in the Season 5 Reloaded Zombies update. We did get a really nice looking animated camo in Season 4 Reloaded with the unstable rifts. Maybe this camo will be something a bit similar where it's like a secret quest you can do in the new rift or in the new story mission or some different unrelated quest. If that's the case though, it's pretty underwhelming compared to the Mark of the Survivor camo that we just unlocked last season, but maybe this is also tied to something else entirely. It could be in a bundle, could be in an unannounced challenge event closer to Season 5 Reloaded, could be something for Season 6 and even The Haunting. But I'll tell you what's really strange. Some people pointed out that on the new Frank Wood skin in MW3, if you take a look very closely at his arm, only on the Numbers Brainwashed Wood skin could you see 115 actually on his arm, like we were accustomed to with the old Frank Woods in some of the older Black Ops games. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the zombie storyline, then quick recap for you. At the end of Tagged or Toten in Black Ops 4 Zombies, the multiverse collapsed into one. Everything was sent into the Dark Ether, and 115 no longer exists in the current Black Ops canon. So when it comes to 115 being referenced in that camo that I showed you, that's a little odd unless it's somehow slipping back out of the Dark Ether and there'll be a cool plot line for it in BO6 or something. This is definitely pretty confusing in terms of the narrative, but maybe it's just a camo they're putting in the game for fun and it isn't really connected to the story. That could be the case, but the reason why 115 took us by surprise is because the new Frank Woods, ever since Cold War and up until now, doesn't have 115 tattooed on his arm. You can still see that wolf that we always knew was there, but 115 hasn't been there, so it's kind of odd to see it back on this new Woods model. Maybe there'll be a meaning for it at some point later, but I'm also curious what other Black Ops related content could make its way into MW3 before the end of the life cycle. Will there be any more earnables, challenges, or secrets added throughout Warzone? Could they be sprinkled throughout MP, even Zombies? I mean, I think there'll be a high probability that Zombies ends on a pretty cool note, kind of setting up a continuation in Black Ops 6 of some sort. So let's wait and see what they do with that, but curious to know if there's going to be any Black Ops 6 rewards that could still be added to this game at some point. Now, that CTX Solutions Twitter also posted previews of the new Ivan operator skin we're going to be getting, as well as some other Black Soul variants, and even a preview of the base STG and the new SMG. So I'll put some other clips on screen so you guys can see. Again, I'm not really a fan of covering cosmetics in this way when they're just leaked from Twitter. I just think it's a bit... I just think that's even worse than covering it when the update actually drops, and at least when the update is installable for everybody and the leakers then post footage on Twitter, at least from there it makes sense as to how the actual contents of each bundle got leaked out. But the update itself is preloadable right now but didn't get installed by anybody, so this is just a crazy hack or some type of inside connection that somebody has, and then that was then relayed over onto Discord and Twitter. It's crazy to see stuff like this, but unless the stuff starts getting taken down off Twitter, should be safe to cover here inside of videos and in post over on Detonated. But to end this video, I want to remind you guys that there'll be a Chain Breaker Universal Camo unlock for completing 8 weeks worth of Season 5 challenges. Don't believe that camo is animated, unfortunately, but I guess we'll find out when we can actually preview it in-game starting later this week. But the Week 1 challenge reward will end up being the new aftermarket part, which is the blunderbuss for the Morse, the Jack Widemouth. I'll be covering that this Wednesday as the season does begin while I'm live streaming as well. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new Reflect 115 camo leaked out for MW3? Do you think other Black Ops 6 rewards are on their way? And let me know what you think about the other camo previews. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.